Welcome to Ear Biscuits, the podcast where two lifelong friends talk about life for a long time. I'm Link.
And I'm Jenna. I'm back again.
We've been friends for such a long time. Thank you for being my co-host today. Rhett is on spring break with Shepherd, and they are on quite an adventure.
Yes.
Do I want to say where they are? Peru.
You said it.
Yeah,
You said
it. They're in Peru. Freaking Peru, man. That's. I mean, I barely know where that is. Machu Picchu. What? Machu Picchu. The only thing I've heard from Rhett is, well, he chimed in on a group chat with our college buddies, so I knew he was alive. And he said that he had not seen the finale of Severance or The White Lotus. And I think they both wanted to talk about it.
Yeah.
And he's like, here I am in Peru. I'm like, okay, he's safe. And then Christy was like, hold on, you didn't talk to him when he got there? He didn't like say, I got here, everything's good. I'm like, no. She's like, really? I'm like, no, we don't do that. She's like, you're at a point in your relationship where one of you goes on a super big trip and the other one doesn't find out that they're safe. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I think we're that far. We're that far along. Mm-hmm. If something happens to him, I'll hear about it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And if, yeah,
I'm sure he sent Jesse a thing.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Because Christy was talking to Jesse and telling her that because Christy and Jesse, they'll be like, oh, I got here safe. I'm in Peru. I mean, and then Rhett would probably find out through Jesse that Christy got somewhere.
Okay. Is Jesse with them?
No. Jesse's at home.
That's what I thought. I thought it was a Shep and Shep and Rhett fun
It's just
times.
the two of them. So I'm just saying if Jesse went on a trip, Christy would know immediately when she got there.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. I send my friends updates. I'm like, hey, I'm going to be here. And then, Laura just has my location, so.
I like, when I go on a trip like that, I like forgetting that my life back home exists. I mean, I still make responsible decisions. That seemed a little too far. Let me roll that back a little bit.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I just don't, I'm very focused in the moment. And I'm not really thinking about what other people are thinking about me back home.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about petting a baby llama or how much diarrhea I have from travel. Which, those are the only two things that I've heard about Rhett and Shepherd's trip.
Oh, no.
What?
I mean, the llama's great.
Llamas?
The baby llama is amazing. Sorry, I was focused on the second one.
I mean, I don't know if that's what happens when you pet too many baby llamas. You start getting those Hershey squirts. So this episode is all I'm gonna do for the rest of this episode, Jenna, is talk to you about how I don't know anything else about his trip. So this whole episode is a teaser.
We could speculate
for Red's trip. But they're safe. They got the runs, and the baby llamas. That's all I've heard.
Okay.
And isn't that more than enough?
Yeah, I'd say that's enough.
Especially when he's gonna roll in here.
He's gonna tell you all about it.
Next episode, and he's gonna sit back in this seat you're keeping warm.
Yeah.
And he's gonna tell us all about it. Mm-hmm. But thanks for coming on over.
I know, I'm excited.
You're excited? You better be nervous.
Oh, okay. What am I nervous for?
Oh, she ain't nervous.
What's the worst that could happen?
I mean, what about like a nervous
Someone
excitement?
says something mean about me? Oh, no.
Oh, that is the worst that could happen?
No, I don't think that's the worst that could happen. The worst that could happen is like maybe this light happens to like fall and hit me in the face.
And disfigure you?
Yeah. Or
permanently?
Really cool. If it's a really cool scar, I guess it would be fine.
Okay.
Too. So really, that's not the worst that could happen either.
All right. So which direction do you want to go here? Let's go with scars.
Let's go with scars.
Do you have a scar? I'm looking around. I don't see any scars.
I have multiple scars. Yeah. You can't really see the one on my forehead anymore. That was from when I was a kid.
Oh, now I see it.
And I've got one on my chin from when I was a kid as well. Just right into some gravel on a bike. It was bad.
That's a dimple.
No, it's like a scar here.
I didn't know you. Oh,
I don't know
okay.
why I'm doing this.
Do you have a dimple? You have a dimple.
Do I have a dimple?
You have a dimple? Relax your chin.
God, now I can't relax it.
Yeah, did you know that?
I don't know why you
I
say
couldn't have said
relax
that.
my chin and I can't relax my chin.
I will say that I will share something about my face I'm self-conscious about once I completely give you the once-over.
Okay.
So yeah, I would call that a dimple.
Okay, cool.
There's a dot in the middle of your chin. I mean, it's not dirt, is it?
No.
Do you clean inside of there?
I do clean in there. It is a dimple.
It is a dimple.
Yeah.
And you knew that.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't. It's not that deep. It's not as deep as like a real innie belly button that like you really got to give it some care occasionally.
Yeah. I do have an innie belly button as well. I have a scar around my belly button too from all the surgery. I had a gallbladder removal, so I've got like some multiple scars.
Well, that was a
around
few
there.
months ago, right?
The gallbladder was ages ago, before you knew me.
Oh, right.
I
didn't want to risk not knowing that you had gallbladder surgery a few weeks ago.
Oh, right.
So I did the safe thing.
You did.
Of course, I sounded like an idiot, but I didn't sound like a jerk.
Right. I had another.
I don't know that
laparoscopic-
Jenna had her gallbladder removed a couple of weeks ago. That would have been a bad look. So now I'm just like, I'm glad you're doing better.
Thanks.
But you had something else, another lapro.
Yeah. Last year, and then it's all kind of the same scars.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, so what is the one on the top of your forehead there? It's vertical.
Mm-hmm.
It's lined up with your part.
Uh-huh.
Do I know this story?
No, I don't think so.
Well, this is our day.
It is.
We can do whatever we want. There's no big guy to commandeer the conversation.
All right.
And I want to know about this scar.
I was a kid, maybe like 7 or so, and running around.
You care if I just stare at it the whole time you're
Yeah,
talking?
that's fine. I don't care. And I was running around outside and just straight onto a rock. And like, how many stitches? I think like 10 stitches.
Were you too young to like have the ability to catch yourself with your hands? Were your hands in your pocket?
I don't remember.
You lost memory.
Well, I mean, that young, there's a lot of pieces of my childhood
that's
that
fair.
are not
Blood?
rememberable. Not memorable.
Rememberable.
Rememberable.
Do you remember the blood?
Not for this one. I remember the blood for this one.
The chin.
The chin one. Yeah, I was riding my bike and I was going down a hill. I was probably 10 maybe when that happened. And then at the end of the hill there was like gravel and I had to turn and my bike just slipped right out from under me and I just went like chin first into the gravel.
You got to learn to put your hands out.
Probably.
But
yeah.
not your hands, your forearms.
Yeah.
The proper way to catch yourself is, I think, with your forearms, not your hands, because that will
I kind of did a little.
That'll mess up your wrist.
I kind of did a little. I had like some like pieces of gravel stuck all in here, and then I had
like
some
doing
here
more
too
of
in my shoulder.
Forearm slide. I've been watching videos on TikTok of old people. Well, I'm not old people falling, but someone who's older than me telling old people how they should fall. I mean, she might be 60, but she's kind of a spry 60.
Yeah.
And she's making TikToks. She might be a physical therapist or something, but she's on the grass and she's teaching old people how to fall.
Yeah, because you'll snap your wrists if you put your hands out,
or break a hip if you don't fall exactly correctly. These are the things that I'm apparently having to worry about now. TikTok is serving me up the old people how to fall videos.
Yeah. My falling has improved now. I haven't seriously injured myself from a fall in a very long time. And I think volleyball helped with that because you have to learn how to fall correctly.
Huh.
And then
the knee pads.
And there's knee pads, yeah.
And elbow pads.
No, I didn't wear elbow pads for volleyball. And then
wrist guards.
No, I didn't wear. I don't think you could really.
Okay.
Not with how much you need to use your wrists.
All right.
But yeah, I did a lot of like combat stuff, and you learn how to fall. and that. So I haven't had
You
a
served.
bad. Yeah, I served.
Where did you? You did combat. So where were you in combat? Jenna's burying the lead. Jenna was in combat. Where were you?
I didn't know. I wasn't anywhere.
You were in like the Gulf War or something? No, you were
The Gulf War.
Too young for that. I could have been in the Gulf War.
You could have.
Yeah, I could have been in the Gulf War. No. Yeah.
For me, it would have been the Iraq War and Afghanistan. It would have been all of that.
That's where you served?
No, that's where I could have.
Okay.
That's what I didn't. I did other combat training just for my own edification.
In more an actorly kind of a world.
Both, yeah.
A theater type of world.
Mm-hmm, like pratfalls, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But then I learned to like actual combat too.
I'm gonna go on so many tangents here because this is where my brain is today. But
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back to my face, and I'm gonna come back to your face. But when you just mentioned, or I mentioned theater about you, I've been telling everybody this story, and it's about to get too old to tell. This is your story to tell, but since you're here, I'm gonna tell it to you.
Okay.
I've been obsessed with Severance. Of course, it's over for everyone except for Rhett. And we were on a Wonderhole shoot a couple of weeks ago. You know where I'm going with this?
I do, yes.
And I was talking about Severance, and I was asking Jenna if she'd seen it. And
I have not.
She said no, just like her story is consistent. You still have not seen it,
I still haven't.
which is a mistake.
I know it is.
But I know the Apple login thing. It's like, well, you got to get a free Apple for a little bit if you don't want to pay for it.
I do have an Apple.
You even have it?
I know.
Man, that is just,
I have no excuse.
That's bad.
I know.
Especially because Jenna says to me, you know what? I have a friend who's on Severance.
Yeah.
You said friend. You said friend.
Yeah.
Not acquaintance.
Right.
Not somebody that you met once. You said friend.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, but from your theater days in Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, who is it? And then you're like, well, I don't know who he is on the show because I haven't seen the show. And I'm like, so you tell me his name.
Trammell.
And I look it up immediately. And I'm like, this
Trammell.
is Milchek.
What?
She's friends with Milchek, and she's not doing anything for me about it. What, Jenna?
What?
He is like, he's a fan. I tried to explain it to her. He's a fan favorite. He's also in the new Mission Impossible movie with Tom Cruise.
I saw he posted about that.
Do you also know Tom Cruise?
I do know Tom Cruise. No, I'm just kidding. Wouldn't that be crazy?
Oh
Sorry.
my God.
I mean, here we are doing this. I mean, I'm not saying I'm not glad to be doing this with you, Jenna. But, I mean, I wouldn't have argued if you'd have brought your friend Milchek up in here. Come on!
I don't have his number anymore. He's a friend from, like, my, like, theater days.
I'm sure he'd love to reconnect.
Maybe.
You've got, I can't, I mean, how much camaraderie was there with him? What's his name again?
Trammell Tillman.
Trammell Tillman.
Yeah, he was
He is the best.
Yeah, he's a wonderful actor. I mean, I haven't seen Severance yet. I'm sorry.
His character is so good.
But
he's
fantastic.
I don't know why, but I'm starting to cry a little bit. Like
crazy.
What? I mean, like this is not news to me. Like, can you
know.
tell that my eyes are getting like real wet?
You're having like the same reaction of when I first told you. Like
I know again. It's the gift that keeps giving. Jenna has a friend that I want to know.
Yeah, he was in the master's program. He had
Program.
Program?
The master's program.
Okay, first of all,
Program.
Program. He was in the master's program, and now it's just gonna be program. I'm sorry. And I was like in my like junior senior year, so he had just started his master's, and I was like a junior senior at UT, and we all worked on the same projects and like saw him around and like hung out, and he's a lovely person.
So if you saw him on the street, what would he say to you?
He'd probably say, "Oh my God, Jenna, UT," and I was like, "Yeah."
You think he'd remember your name?
I think he'd remember my name.
I mean, you
I
have
don't know,
called him
maybe
friend.
not. I mean, we worked on projects.
Let him speak first.
Yeah, I'll let him speak first.
That's the power move. But keep following him until he does speak. That's the creep move.
Okay.
So
but
good.
I'm really excited for him. I thought that was so cool.
I can't believe I haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. I know. So I'm a terrible friend.
And you've known this, that he was in it, and that it was. The first season was 2 years ago, and it was amazing.
I didn't know in the first season. I didn't.
Well,
I
are we
didn't
working
see
you
any
that
of it.
hard? Is it our fault?
Yes.
Shouldn't have asked. Fresh air, sunshine, and good food. That's what spring is all about. And HelloFresh helps you bring that spring feeling right to your kitchen.
They make it so easy to fit quick home-cooked meals into your week with tasty recipes like pasta primavera, chicken Dijon, and my recent favorite, pecan, yes, that's right, pecan-crusted trout.
Lately, I've been loving how HelloFresh is stepping things up in 2025. Their new ready-made meals are a total game changer. Chef-crafted, packed with flavor, and ready in just 3 minutes.
I was able to sneak one in between meetings the other day and actually felt like I'd eaten a meal, not just a snack. And as always, the ingredients are super fresh and seasonal with proteins and produce that go straight from the farm to your door.
Plus, their flexible deliveries make it easy to pause or skip a week when life gets hectic. Feel great with meals that fit your spring schedule and make the season even more delicious. Go to HelloFresh.com/ear10FM now to get 10 free meals with a free item for life. So that's ear10FM because that's 10 free meals.
One per box with active subscription. Free meals applied as discount on first box. New subscribers only. Varies by plan.
All right, so back to your face. You also, I'm noticing something else about your face. If we're including ears as part of the face. There's a hole on the inside of your ear, right there. Can I touch?
Yeah, you can touch it.
Because I'm sorry, I was already touching.
You're already touching.
I was pointing, but I didn't mean to point so closely that I was touching before asking.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was like, oh, my finger went farther than I thought.
Yeah, I've got a few.
It didn't go in your ear.
It didn't.
Can I put my finger in your ear?
No.
Can I lick it first?
No. No wet willies.
Is this new or is this like gallstone?
These are new.
Gallbladder.
I've got a couple new piercings in my ears. Yeah.
Like
I think I got them
few days.
No, not in the past few days. In the past month or two.
Okay.
I think I got it
Well, I
end
failed
of
you.
February.
I failed you.
It's not.
I mean, I don't see that ear.
It's not in here. I have two new ones right here.
Those I'm not gonna feel bad for not noticing that.
Yeah,
I mean,
are
Christy,
little snake bites.
Christy will get these like ear hole piercings around here, and then like it'll just keep. And she just keeps going. She keeps adding.
We go to the same place.
At a certain point, it's unnoticeable to me.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fun for her and it's nice, and I don't think she expects me to notice. It's not like my hair color's different. Thanks for noticing for the past 3 days. Or I got a chop. That's
you would
happening.
notice.
I would notice.
You would notice. Yeah.
I mean, she's done like some hair color floofing. Like just a little bit of zhuzh. And I haven't noticed that. And I felt a little bit of negativity, but not anything that we needed to talk about.
Okay.
Or I needed to apologize for. But getting one down there, in the middle.
If I even can
Now
see
that should be noticed by a boss, and I apologize.
I don't know if you've sat on this side of me since,
that's
so
what
maybe
it is. You're always
that's
over there.
why I'm in there, or like we're talking this way.
I'm never looking down the shaft of your ear.
No, except today. Today you're looking right down there. I hope they're clean. They are. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for it to fully heal because
God,
I want
to
get.
Hurt.
I mean, it still does a little bit. It's
Oh,
still
so when
tender.
I touched it?
No, that didn't hurt. It's still like a little
Let me see
tender.
the backside of this.
It's just like
That's a thick part. That is not lobe. That is like ear proper.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, did they have to screw it in?
No. Just put a
Ooh, I bet it
needle.
hurt. I bet it hurt.
It's not the most painful thing I've done.
I bet it hurt though.
I don't. Yeah, cartilage isn't.
Is it oozing?
No, not anymore. It did. There was a bit of blood.
Okay. That's good.
That I cleaned with like saline solution. And I keep it. That's how you keep it sterile.
Is there anything else that I should be noticing about your face now that we're on it? 'Cause I just want to get it all taken care of. Like, I'm looking at your face. It's here. I'm giving it.
I haven't done anything.
There's nothing else that I'm noticing. Everything else looks as I would expect.
Yeah.
Yep. No big change.
I haven't had any big changes. So anything that you've noticed, it's been there.
No signs of aging.
I mean,
tell you that.
The signs of aging are...
Well, not that I'm seeing.
Okay.
But that's the transition back to me.
That's the correct answer.
I was looking... Did I talk about it at this table with Rhett that, like, I saw myself... Like, I'm critical of how I walk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. But because I was watching myself on Wonderhole and I'm not behind the GMM desk and, like... I mean... I have fresh eyes to seeing myself from different angles.
Mm-hmm.
And so not only have I been a little critical of my walk, my gait, my swagger, that I feel like I need to work on. But I noticed around my temple on right here, I'm talking about the sides of my head here, that I've got, let's see, I've got these age spots. Like, you see that right there?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, hold on.
Sorry. I mean, no, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about.
That was too quick. So let's try that again. Let's go. Okay, you can cut that out. All right, here we go. I've noticed these age spots over here.
Where? I don't see them.
I know, you got to get close.
It's kind of faint. So maybe.
It almost looks like a birthmark.
Uh-huh.
Is my finger in the right place?
It is. No,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's in the right spot. I can't tell what you're looking at.
I don't. And then Christy said, "Oh, well, you got some over here too. It's really happening right here.
Uh-huh.
Is it there too?"
Yes.
It is.
Uh-huh. That's a spot a lot of people forget to reapply sunscreen to.
Yep. So now Christy's like, "Well, if you want to, you can use bleaching cream." And I'm like, "What? What?
Yeah.
Bleaching cream?
Mm-hmm.
What?" And she was like, "But if you do that, you have to make sure that you wear SPF."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know.
Maybe not bleaching cream. We could try the
I'm glad
retinol. Get you some red light therapy.
Okay. Rhett's been talking that up too. Don't be that way.
Okay, I won't. Sorry.
Hey, you need to do this, man, and you need to do this, and while you're doing that, you need to do this, and you need to do it in this order, and don't do it right when you wake up. Oh, that's when you've been doing it? Oh, it's not doing any good.
Yeah. I don't know the order of things, so it's okay.
But
I know those things.
No, I do.
good.
I'm just messing with you. I do appreciate you. Let me know what you think. I mean, because I could just leave it. It is I'm getting all these spots. This is hereditary.
I've been getting them on my hands.
I'm getting so many spots on my hand. And this is my mom's fault. This is my mom's side of the family.
Yeah, the
these,
hands are starting to show up
age
for me.
spots.
Mm-hmm.
And I ain't going to be putting nothing on that. I mean, hopefully I'll get enough that it'll just like blur into like a hand tan.
Yeah, it'll
Or
be a
something.
hand tan eventually.
But this is exactly what I'm getting here.
Uh-huh.
And so I need to start, I don't really want that to like start creating maps on my face.
Okay.
But I don't like the bleach thing. So it's not that big of a deal to me, but I was surprised that it was a little more noticeable than I thought.
Yeah.
So I'm just in a place of noticing.
Mm-hmm. It creeps up on you.
That's the thing. It's like meditation. Just notice it.
Mm-hmm.
And then either take action or let it go.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to decide what I'm going to do. But I think more SPF. I'm back on the SPF train.
Yeah.
So that's my main thing.
I mean, what I always do when I put SPF on my face is I will have a little extra. There's always going to be a little extra, and I put it on my hands too because I've noticing the
on the back of the hands,
on the back
though,
of the hands,
not the front. Because
on the back
then
of the hands.
I have to wash my hands because.
Mm-hmm.
And I told Christy this too. I'm like, listen, the reason why I stopped using SPF on my face, even though you being the amazing caregiver you are, buy it for me, is because at a certain point during the day, I'll get some in my eyes. And I will just weep uncontrollably, like you've told me that your friend is Milchek from the from Severance. And it's like I can't stop it. You know, it's getting it in your eye.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't understand why that happens to you. Are you taking your hands and just going like this and like I'm like, no, I'm not rubbing my eyes. I'm rubbing up here. And I realized I was rubbing a little bit of my eyebrow because you want to get all the way to the brow.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to the sides where my birthmarks are, my age spots.
Mm-hmm.
And then I get under here, I get the nose, and I get right here. But I don't get like right underneath the eye, right here.
Yeah.
But I think the thing that happens is my glasses, something gets on like the top of my glasses or like under here on the bottom of my glasses, and then it just moves around and it gets in my eye.
Mm-hmm.
It's my glasses' fault. So I'm trying to figure out what to do.
Have you tried different, like, Okay.
So I'm open to that.
All right.
Different what?
Try a different product and like
Different
maybe
product.
it's the product, like what's in
Okay.
it that might be bugging you. Or throughout the day, because like I have that issue sometimes too, if I put on too much like makeup and other things that like halfway through the day, my eyes would start watering and kind of get irritated.
Yeah.
And I had to switch to, I just tweaked different products and things.
Huh. Okay. See, that's the advantage of me talking about my problems here is that I welcome solutions.
I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm saying I've had that, and it's a game of guessing.
I'm talking about the power of the community too.
Yeah.
Leave me a voicemail.
Yeah.
1-888-EARPOD1. You got it, Jenna. All right, let's hear one. Oh, and before we do, just want to remind you that one of the most titillating, I shouldn't have said that, one of the most intriguing episodes of Last Meals, of course, the Mythical Kitchen show where Josh and the Mythical Kitcheneers prepare the perfect last meal as requested by the guest. It's the attention to detail and execution is amazing, but then the conversations that Josh gets into with these people are existential, man.
Mm-hmm.
If you've never watched Last Meals, you should browse for a guest that you like. Maybe that's Tom Hanks. Maybe that's me. Or maybe it's Stevie. The only way to listen to the Stevie and watch the Stevie Last Meals is to go to the Mythical Society. It's a special one, so we put it in a special place to get you over into the Mythical Society world. MythicalSociety.com. Let's hear it.
Hey, Red Link. My name is Ryan from Chicago, Illinois. I just wanted to know, what's your guilty pleasure when it comes to music? Like someone that you listen to that most people probably find to be bad or cringy, but you enjoy them anyway. Mine would probably be Nickelback. Thanks. Love you guys. Bye.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for not just asking the question, but giving us your Nickelback, because I understand Nickelback. I understand it. I remember as they were coming up, like the pre-Spider-Man soundtrack Nickelback. I was like, okay, this is catchy. This is catchy. I can't argue with this. And there's a sense of humor to it. I remember that from some of their music videos, I think. And then they just became, I don't know. It was unfortunate.
Yeah.
I feel for Nickelback.
Mm-hmm.
I think it, I don't know, did they take themselves too seriously? What really happened? What really happened that they became the trope? I don't know.
I don't either.
But
Because there were so many other bands of a similar caliber that didn't get that heat, I feel like.
well, you've got Creed.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that's the other one that comes to mind for me
Mhm.
from kind of that era.
Mm-hmm.
And because they just got so huge and so mainstream that I think the association was like, it was a very vanilla
Yeah.
taste, but I don't think it was their fault.
No. Mm-mm.
I don't think it was their fault, but not a fan. So, proud to say, not a fan. So I'm talking out of both sides of my mouth. Do you have one? I'll give mine.
I'd say one that from when I was growing up that I still will listen to is
Spice Girls.
That's not cringe.
I didn't say no. Guilty pleasure.
Guilty
We
pleasure.
didn't say the word cringe.
Uh huh. Yeah, I still listen to Spice Girls, definitely.
Okay, that's
100%. All of those, yeah.
What were you gonna say though?
I was gonna say Big and Rich.
Big and Rich.
Yeah, Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy. That is a guilty pleasure song for me, for real. I don't know if they're disliked, but I feel like that song was so overplayed for like so long.
So that song is your guilty pleasure.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Do I know anything else from Big and Rich? I do not. I don't. But I love that.
I mean, my problem is why choose?
Uh-huh.
Like, let's ride both.
Yeah.
You know?
A horse and a cowboy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm fond of the idea of riding horses, and I don't want to have to make that choice.
Yeah.
Big and rich, don't make that choice for me. That's like choosing between big and rich. Don't make me do that, big and rich. Cause rich, I might have to choose big, or big, I might have to choose rich.
Mm-hmm.
So why don't you just let me ride a horse and a cowboy?
There you go. There you go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. At big and rich. At symbol. Right at you. Uh-huh. And I don't feel a bit of guilt about it. Do you?
No.
Mm-hmm. But if you had to choose.
If I had to choose.
Yeah.
Big or rich?
No.
Oh, a horse or a cowboy?
Yeah.
Oh.
If you had to choose.
Cowboy.
Have you had to choose? Have you been in that situation where there's a horse and there's a cowboy?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Uh-huh. I guess it's circumstantial, right?
Well, have you
What are the needs?
Have you ever?
What?
I mean, Jenna, have you ever?
Ever what?
You
Cowboy?
know.
What?
Yeah, well, I'm not, have
probably.
You ever? Have you ever?
Probably.
Probably what?
Probably have. Ridden a cowboy.
Oh, no, I'm talking about a horse.
Oh, a horse? Oh, yeah, I've ridden a horse.
I'm not trying to put you on the spot.
Oh, okay, I've ridden a
I'm
horse.
not trying to put you on the spot.
I know how to ride horses. I like horses.
I think of that movie, The Cowboy Way.
I don't know that movie. I don't know. You know, see,
Woody,
you watch things that I
it's Woody Harrelson and...
I love Woody Harrelson.
Crap. Who's the other cowboy?
Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sullivan.
Sutherland.
Sutherland.
And he's got a mustache, and I've never seen him with a
He's got a
mustache
mustache?
before.
Yeah, Kiefer's got a mustache.
Okay.
And
okay.
Woody's got a wig.
Listen, I
No,
love
I don't
both of
think he
them.
does.
What was
But
this?
there's definitely
Kiefer?
a ride a cowboy scene that I remember that's very funny.
When
And
did
I
this
think
come
it
out?
makes
1994.
94?
94. This is a
Ooh.
weird wreck
Them
from a
in
guy
their
who doesn't
prime.
wreck.
You don't wreck
Movies.
any movies, yeah.
But there's a certain scene with a cowboy hat that you like Woody Harrelson?
Yes.
Okay.
And that era of Woody Harrelson and Kiefer Sutherland,
Yeah.
nice.
I've
Yeah,
just done you a
nice.
favor.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Yep.
Should I watch that first or Severance?
Cowboy Way.
Cowboy Way. Okay.
I hope I'm thinking about the Cowboy Way and not 8 Seconds with Luke Perry, which is a rodeo movie. May he rest in peace.
Okay.
Because I don't think I've seen that. I just think I know about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure that the scene I'm thinking about with the cowboy hat.
I'm assuming it's strategically placed over.
Oh, come on. I don't want to give too much
Okay,
away.
all right. I mean,
But
I can infer.
That's a big assumption based on what I said.
I can infer.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. I'd say it's iconic. All right, so that's what you need to watch. And that could be your new guilty pleasure. And you know what? Next time I see you, I'm not going to ask you if you've watched it.
Okay.
I'm not going to, you can volunteer that you've watched it, but I'm not going to ask you.
Okay.
Because I don't want that energy in our working relationship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You know?
Constantly being like, you need to watch this and you need to watch this.
Yeah, exactly. Because people do that to me all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't like that energy.
Mm-hmm.
So take it or leave it.
Yeah. I feel like we're similar in that regard. Like if someone asks me to watch something too much, then I'm just like, well, I'm not going to watch it.
I'm not going to talk about Severance anymore.
That I will because I need to watch it because
Right.
Tremel's in it. I feel like a jerk.
What is my guilty music pleasure? That was a good one.
Yeah.
Big and Rich. I'm tempted to say the Chili Peppers, but because people make fun of the lyrics. But I'm over that. I'm going to go with. I'm gonna go with 311. You know,
Ooh,
I know
okay.
that Rhett and I have talked a lot about 311 and how they're formative to our late high school, early college band days,
Mm-hmm.
the rap rock reggae thing, and some of that. You know, they're still doing it. They're still touring, and I'm still a fan.
Yeah.
I bought a record of theirs for nostalgic purposes very recently, but I do feel a little bit of guilt when I listen to them.
Why?
Well, it's not like listening to Joni Mitchell after you realize she did blackface. It's not like that. But it's
I did not know Joni Mitchell did that.
yeah. Sorry to do that
Damn.
to you. She played this character.
Oh boy. All right.
And Rhett was the one who told me this. He was trying to spoil Joni Mitchell for me. I'm not that huge of a fan, but when I told Lando, he had this crisis of conscience that was like, does he need to get rid of his Joni Mitchell? And I don't want to continue this conversation.
Okay.
But yeah, I didn't mean to make him feel that bad about it. But yeah. Let's not get off on the Joni Mitchell tangent.
No, we don't need to.
I just mentioned it, and you do your own research and come to your own conclusions.
Back to 311.
I don't know.
Back to 311.
So I
remember
feel a
that.
little guilty about 311, but not enough to not buy a record, and not enough to say that I'm still a fan. And Nick, I wish you the best on your new solo album. See?
There you go.
You're
You're
still
You're following their like
Oh yeah,
whole thing still.
I got a soft spot in my heart for 311, and I feel a little guilty about it.
We're going to find when they're playing somewhere soon. You're going to have to go to a concert. Have you been since?
I've seen them once when I was in college at like a small venue, and it was very, very fun.
Yeah.
That was the Sound System album. Anyway, all right, let's hear another.
Hi, Rhett and Link. I'm just watching the where we feel our anxiety the most, and I'm listening to Jenna's date update, and she says that men have these big feelings in the car, and that is 100% true. I've been with my boyfriend for 6 years now, and the first time he ever said he loved me was the day after he asked me to be his girlfriend in the McDonald's drive-thru. It was so funny. The look on his face after he said it was just hilarious. But I loved him, and I said it right after. And it's Jenna's. I just had to call in and say this is 100% true. Thanks so much. And my name is Allie, by the way. I think I forgot to say that at the beginning. Bye.
It was good that you said it at the end because now I'll remember it for a second. Allie, you have been vindicated.
I'm right.
No, I don't remember if we opposed you. I wouldn't think that we did.
You didn't oppose me, no. But she's talking about a good feeling. Now I was talking about a bad, like a bad feeling, big feelings that men have, and so I'm glad that she had a good experience.
Refresh my memory, because when you say bad feeling, I thought you were talking about men, like they like to make advances at the end of dates in cars. Is that not part of what you were talking about?
No, they. It's
Maybe
like
that was something different.
It's all of these like pent up feelings that they have tend to come out when they're driving and you're trapped in a vehicle with them, and that could be a good or bad.
And we're not talking about road rage.
Not talking about road rage. No,
You're talking about relational stuff.
Relational conversations, like any big fights. I don't know why. It's always when they're driving and like you're in the car. It's just like I would really like to have this conversation not here, not in a moving vehicle that I have no control over.
Oh, because you start to get nervous for accidents.
Yeah. And there's no exit if like the fight reaches a point where I'm like, I need to walk. I need to go for a walk, you know?
You could, if you're assuming you're in the passenger seat, you could crawl into the back seat. That would send a message.
I would send a message.
Yeah.
just like
here.
lower.
Can't hear you.
Or you just lower your seat back and you're like, I'm out.
Yeah,
I'm out.
I mean, because you don't have a lot to work with. I mean, you could open the glove box, stick your head in there, ostrich style. but you're not without some level of volition here. You are trapped in a moving vehicle with a person, and you can't escape them. But there are some cars that once you get in the back seat, and if there's a middle thing, like an armrest that comes down in the middle, behind that there'll be a portal, and sometimes it has a lock on it, and you can put the key through that and open that, and you'll have a hole into the trunk.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then you could crawl all the way into the trunk.
I don't know if I would want to be in the trunk of an angry man's car either.
No. But okay, let's go back to the lean back, because I like this technique.
The lean back?
Like, if you're just like, it's just like Homer Simpson going back into the bushes. I mean,
he's just yelling and yelling, and I'm just like, bzz.
Yeah, he's driving and he's upset, and he might be upset at you, and then he looks over and you're not there anymore. And it's like, oh, my head's way back here. I can't hear you.
What are you saying?
That is a good technique. I want to send you out into the world to get into a vehicle altercation.
Okay.
Like some sort of relationship altercation in moving vehicle, just to try this.
Okay.
And every time I see you, I'm going to ask you if you've done it.
I don't
Jenna?
know if I'm going to find myself in a situation.
I mean, I don't live vicariously through you enough, I think is what I'm learning.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I got that, dad for a long time, married for a long time energy. I got to send some of that your way.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what we do, us dads. We live vicariously through people who are dating and who are just playing video games with their lives and who knows what else.
Choose your own adventure.
Reading books.
Yeah.
It's like this is now going to become part of our working relationship.
Okay.
No, that's not the healthiest. That was a joke. Lean back, better than the glove box. But, I mean, you're thinking about specific time. This is a pattern.
Mm-hmm. It's an interesting pattern. And I've heard it from multiple friends of mine, too, that have experienced it as well. So it's nice to hear it from a stranger, too. But I'm glad it was a happy one.
Mm-hmm.
Hilarious that he said "I love you" first at a McDonald's drive-thru. I love it.
And then the look on his face.
Was she sure he was saying it to her and not like the fact that the ice cream machine wasn't broken and he could get a McFlurry? You know what I'm saying?
Potentially.
Potentially.
And then she said, "I love you too."
He's like,
and he like went. That's why he had that weird look on his face. Like, oh, I was talking to the soft serve.
No, I'm sure that wasn't the case. I'm sorry, Allie.
But can you think about trying to lean back? Because I do
Trying to
think
lean back.
because engaging, like, because what else do? You say, hey, now can we pause on this?
Yeah.
But I think that's good. That's strong. Use your words.
Yeah.
I assume that's what you would already do.
Yeah.
But then adding the recline, it really reinforces this is the action I'm taking.
Uh-huh.
I think it's good.
It's like I'm disengaging from this conversation.
Yeah. I can't get Christy to lay her seat back. I don't know what it is. I think it's she's afraid of my driving. Like, I'm like, go to sleep. I can tell you're tired. Lay the seat back. The argument we get over, is over her unwillingness to lay the seat back.
Yeah.
I can tell you're tired. I'm driving. It's a long trip. Lay your seat back. I think there's a pillow in the back, or there's something we can use. She's like, no. I'm just gonna stay here. And it's because she feels like she needs to keep an eye on me. I was like, I drive so much without you in the car, and no one's scared.
Well, she's an Enneagram 6. And she also just likes to be there and support you. Too.
Yeah.
So
you
you're
need
not
some more SPF?
the only one. Yeah.
Do you need a carbon monoxide detector?
Yes. Oh my gosh.
She got all that.
Everyone needs all
She's
that.
got all that. She's my rock.
Uh-huh.
She's my rock. She's my cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
And my horse. All right, fire away.
Hi, Rhett, Link, and Jenna and Jamie, if you guys are there. Don't want to leave you guys out of this because I need advice. Firstly, my name is Liz. I'm from Texas, currently surviving Texas. And I am in my first relationship. We're going on like 2 years, and we're pretty steady, pretty solid with each other. But there's something like personal that just keeps coming up that I keep thinking about, and I'm actually about to go into therapy and talk about, but I still respect and would like to hear y'all's opinions on it. I have a problem with showing vulnerability or practicing vulnerability. I grew up in a very pragmatic household, so everything was very logical and no feelings were involved. So it's very difficult for me to be vulnerable emotionally, sometimes physically. So I wanted to ask, what are some ways that you guys practice being vulnerable in your own relationships? Or how would you, if you did have a relationship, how would you practice vulnerability? Thanks, guys. Love what you do. Bye-bye.
Get in a car. Apparently. Just keep driving around, and it'll well over you. Maybe that's just guys. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think she's going to be crushed that Rhett's not here, because I can tell she really wanted to hear from the two of you. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna let you have the floor.
Well, I'm not in a committed relationship, but Jamie can probably speak on it. But I will say, I feel like she is showing vulnerability by calling in and
That's right.
going to therapy. Like, that shows a good level of vulnerability to speak openly about it. So I'd say congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
Saying you have trouble being vulnerable
Yeah.
is a form of vulnerability.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
So we celebrate that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I mean, so before the relationship that I'm currently in, I would like to say I was very much the same and very emotionally stilted is how I used to say it.
Okay.
Because I always kind of thought about things more logically a little bit, because I was just shallow in my feelings. I just didn't feel down deep. And the way that I got better at it was literally just kind of practicing conversations by myself. Honestly, I would just kind of talk to myself in the mirror, or I'd be listening to a song that made me feel emotional so that I could talk about emotional things. And that actually really helped the practice. And then, not looking at the person in the eye is the way you can start. Honestly, it really does help to not look at them in the eye, which the car might be a good idea, honestly. Not for bad, big feelings, but just big feelings. But that's what helped me. And then eventually with my partner, it's just easy with him because he's my person. So to me, it's like you fall into that and it just feels good. And then because when you bottle stuff up, it sucks. And the reality of that sucking by yourself is like the worst. And then once you let it go, you're like, why did I wait so long to do that? And I just felt sucky for so long.
Well, it's because it's a skill.
Mm-hmm.
It's a practice. In some people, it becomes more naturally to them than others. But I think that, asking that question, you're being too hard on yourself, or if anybody else is saying, well, why, reaping the benefits of it and then saying, why was I so resistant to this?
Mm-hmm.
Because as the caller, I think her name's Liz.
Yes.
I think as Liz alluded to, there's so many things, nature and nurture, that build you into the person you are at this particular point. But the person you are at this particular point in your life is not the person that you will always be. And you can affect change.
Mm-hmm.
And so knowing that it takes work to start to get in touch with your emotions, or to be better at sharing those, it's absolutely normal, because it is a big deal and it is a hard thing to do. I mean, I'm remembering a lot of conversations Rhett and I have had, because our therapy journey, I think one of the biggest hallmarks of that for each of us has been learning the craft of getting in touch with your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're not, and it doesn't come naturally, it takes time and effort. That's what work is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
To make up your mind that you're gonna cultivate this as a skill that could become more of an ability.
Yeah.
I mean, and I love what you said about, like, you find the right person.
Mm-hmm.
You found your person, and I think a good test of that at least my definition, you tell me what you meant by it, is when you're vulnerable, how they respond helps define if they're your person or not. I think that's part of the definition of what people mean when at least that's what I heard and what you're saying. Like,
Mm-hmm, exactly.
It's easier, I can be vulnerable because they're my person.
Yeah.
But it works the other way too. They're my person because I can be vulnerable with them, and it's a safe space, and it's a safe relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 100%. Because I think a lot of times that some people try to test the waters of being vulnerable, and if you're with someone who reacts horribly to that, that's even worse than keeping it bottled up. And then you're like, I never want to do that again. So, which I've also been through, and I'm sure, in past relationships, Jenna, or like anything, like, have been through as well. So when you do finally, you're like, all right, I'm going to let go. It's like you're so nervous, you're so anxious, and then you say something, and then they react just so calmly, so coolly. They're listening to you. They're not trying to attack you or make you feel unheard. Then you're like, oh my God, I can breathe. And that's what I think the main thing is like when that person brings you like peace at the end of the day, no matter what, like they're your peace, that means they're your person, at least to me.
Yeah. The only thing I have is I tend to have the opposite, where when I first started delving and going deep with my emotions, they would overwhelm me, and I couldn't regulate properly to express myself clearly. So what I would do I started doing it in friendships, because I have been single for quite a number of years now. And so I started doing it just with myself and with my friendships and the relationships I have with, like, my work relationships too. Like, I've come into you and Rhett before and asked advice because I'm heated about something that happened at work.
Yeah.
And I need advice on how to properly express myself. And you all have always been very good about, like, offering that advice for me whenever I come in hot with something. And I do the same thing in my friendships too. Like, Laura and I, a few years back, got into like a fight, and I know I definitely was in the wrong, and I hurt her deeply, and I couldn't find the right words to properly apologize to her because I was so overwhelmed with the feelings of my up, essentially. And I ended up just I had to write it all down. And then I had to go to her and read what I had written and express it in that way. And then it is this trust that you are going to these people in this state and kind of this like belief that they're not going to dismiss you. They're not going to dismiss what you have to say. I think that's the hardest part of vulnerability is recognizing like, all right, I have to go in with the trust that they're going to react properly, because I did have so many relationships in the past where that was not the case, and I'd have to bottle things, and then I was never able to express. So now I'm like trying to figure out how to do the expressing. And I just had to do everything on my own for so long, and I think now it's you don't have to do everything alone either. Like I'm much more open to accepting help from people and knowing when I need help, and I think that's a level of vulnerability. So like there's certainly Liz definitely is already on that track, I feel like, of having people that they feel comfortable expressing.
Yeah, and I think that there's near the other end of the spectrum is being too vulnerable. You know, you gotta pick the right person.
Yeah.
You know, to continue to use the term, right? Somebody's got to be worthy of your vulnerability, because by definition, it's the risk that it's something that could hurt you, or you feel like you're exposing a weakness that then can be used against you. So, in therapy, you might discover some of the reasons why, and that might help get to a place of like practiced in proper vulnerability. And it's something that I'm sure can grow over time. But owning it and then going to therapy, I think that is a great environment to talk about it, to then know how to talk about it with your partner. And, I'm also want to advocate for couples therapy when it comes to when there's things in your relationship that you don't know how to make forward progress, or you keep having the same conflict that gets to the same point, then I think that's a great place to go to couples therapy. It's not something that, when you think about couples therapy, you think about like, you're saving your relationship or something. But I've started to look at it much differently as an opportunity for all types of relationships, including vibrant, rewarding relationships that I'm excited about, like me and Christy. There's certain things where we've benefited from having a third person to help us navigate something where we just couldn't get. We just weren't making any more progress, or our experiences are so different that we're just not seeing or hearing each other. So it's like, so I don't know. I think that might be a component of it down the road too, but I'm not, I think there's still a lot of work to be done. It's like, what are my big feelings outside of the car, so to speak? And you got to be careful with cowboys, just to go back to that, because I mean, they spend a lot of time alone, just brooding. I mean, listen to the Willie Nelson song, "My Heroes Have Always Been Cowboys." Like, the lyrics to that song are amazing. They've got their own brand of misery from being alone too long out on the prairie. And it talks about women of the night. It talks about warm puppies. There's all types of stuff in this song.
Okay.
It's great. But And it might be insightful if you're listening to a lot of Big and Rich. You know what I'm saying? If you listen to Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy, and then listen to My Heroes Have Always Been Cowboys, and then you decide which song you like better. Which song makes you feel less guilty?
All right.
Let's get one more in there.
Hi, Rhett and Link. I have a question for you. As a 25-year-old teacher here, I really want to get a tattoo, and I know both of you have now gotten some tattoos that are visible, at least to us. I'm not sure if you had any before that, but I'm just wondering, how did you decide what to get? I have a lot of anxiety about not liking tattoos in the future that I would get now. Of course, I'm told that you shouldn't care and that it's just a tattoo and that you'll probably love it no matter what. But how do you decide what to get, where to put it, what to get as a first tattoo? I don't want to get something too big and be in pain. And as someone that's a teaching professional, how to tell other people about it, especially if it's in a visible spot, what to do with that. So, just a thought. And my name's Caitlin, by the way, since you guys always forget. Big fan. Bye.
Caitlin, overthinking the tattoo of it all. There's a Reddit thread that I don't follow, but just keeps coming up, and it's called Tattoo Regret. Oof. It's people posting their tattoos, and they're just trying to get reassurance that they haven't made a complete mistake.
Mm-hmm.
The thing I like about it is that most always the commenters make them feel better about their tattoo.
That's good.
But yeah, I don't spend too much time there, but I like the positive energy in that thread. I mean, you're going to be the one who thinks the most about it and like analyzes it.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've got some tattoos.
I do.
I think we've talked about these before, but
Yeah.
you can quickly go through a list.
Let's see. I've got one on my foot, one on each wrist, one on my forearm, side, sternum, each thigh. Is that all of them?
Each thigh.
Is that all of them? Yeah, I've got the two large ones on my thighs. Least painful of all of them that I've gotten by far. Although, I mean, the wrist was really easy, and it's small. That was my first one. My first one was my...
This is where it hurt me the most, right here.
Yeah, there's a lot of little things in there, but I guess because mine was small that it was
yours
fine.
Is little.
Yeah, this was my first one I got when I was 18.
What does that say? Dirt?
You're going to feel like a jerk when I tell you.
Yeah, I'm sure it's...
It's my mom's initials.
Dirt! No,
it's my mom's initials one way, and then another way, it's like a term in Taoism that it just means like caring and compassion. And I like drew
upside down. Let me see it. I really didn't see it. I was just messing with you. CTZ. This is what you shouldn't be doing.
Yeah.
Don't be reading people's I'm demonstrating what not to do.
I drew it myself, so he's not gonna get it. He's not.
What is that? Is that does that say dirt? CTZIU.
TZ apostrophe U.
Oh, just a T. Z apostrophe U.
And then this way.
Oh. Nlup.
It's initials.
NLUP.
MBP.
Yes, MBP. I see that.
So listen, don't worry about regretting tattoos.
Oh, 18. She was 18.
I was 18.
Hey, it goes both ways.
It does.
It says nothing in both directions.
It says nothing in both directions. Yes.
I mean, it could have just been mom with a heart.
Could have. That's boring.
That's boring.
It's boring.
It does look cool.
Not that that's a bad thing. Anyone has those tattoos.
It looks cool. It looks cool. I mean, I'm not happy with every single thing about.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have put jade here if I was going to put some mini plants all the way around my whole arm.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
You never know how things are planned out.
I think you gotta you got to start small. You got to start in a semi-visible or non-visible place.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just work your way into it. You got to ease into it.
Yeah, usually
my
with small
advice.
ones, I usually see people will get are like like first tattoos or like a small one on the wrist, on the ankle. Sometimes you'll see on the side like a little. It depends on how visible you want it. Just if you do your sides, it does hurt around the ribs. If you want something less painful,
I thought you were pointing. If you want something less painful,
right here, face tattoo. Never regret that. You're gonna want to pick a little meatier spot. Like my thighs did not hurt at all. I took a nap for both of them.
My ass hurt.
Your ass hurt? Oh yeah.
Cheek.
Yeah, because you got
that was
your
my
first.
That was my first one.
Uh-huh.
I was shocked with how much it hurt. But then you think because it's little, it's just I'm just getting it over with.
Uh-huh.
But when it gets bigger, and you're like, all right, I'm accepting what's happening, and
Yes.
I'm just gonna have to like settle into it.
Mm-hmm.
Is different than that's the thing about the small one is that like I'm just gonna grin and bear it and get over it. But it's really a trial to see if you can just sit there and embrace it.
Yeah.
As some form of like controlled pain. You're okay.
Yeah.
You're okay. It's like taking a cold shower. You're okay. You don't really want to be here right now feeling this, but you're okay.
Yeah. It's all okay.
Get it small.
Yeah, a little small one.
I'm definitely. I mean,
I've
I'm a
seen
fan of
people
the
do
ass cheek. I
small-
think that's a good. I
Yeah.
mean, it hurts, but and then you kind of got to be vulnerable on the table because you got to pull out your ass cheek.
Ass out. Yeah. You got to think about how you're going to be on the table. Yeah. Because the one on my sternum.
I just pulled my
one's
britches
on my
down.
sternum and the one on my side, like, out. Just out.
Your boobie was out,
Yep.
and was there tape on it?
I was like covering it.
You were holding it the whole time.
Yeah, I was holding it.
You should have put tape on it.
It wasn't long. It wasn't the one that I have here is a friendship tattoo, and that didn't take that long.
Okay. What do you think about those tattoos where it's two people and then if one person like touches like the other person somewhere, their tattoo
I think those are
continues.
cute. I think those are cute.
think
I
that's
like
cool.
those. I like that. That's not what my friendship tattoo is, but I think those are cute. Yeah.
Like I saw one and it was a guy grabbing like it was on his
Is what- on their
hand and on her arm and then it was like it went across his hand. It was
Oh, that's interesting.
interesting.
That's unique. Yeah.
I think one of those is good because then if you break up, then you just fill in that gap.
Yeah, you could fill in the gap. Mm-hmm.
Think about don't tell him that, but just design it that way. Where he's the gap.
Yeah.
He fills the gap, but then if he goes away, you find somebody else to fill the gap.
Yeah, you can fill in that gap yourself.
Or fill it in yourself or find somebody else. Yeah, I think that's it. Yep. And you're a school teacher. I think you could maybe do that with some of your favorite students. Just have your favorite students grab you in a tattoo parlor and then have the tattoo artist just go all across the kids and your arm. And you could do the whole class. Like you'd be connected forever.
Yeah, maybe let the kids help design.
There you go. Get the kids to design it, and this part will be on them. This part will be on you. That's
They're
it.
not getting tattooed.
That's it. Yeah. Or if you don't want to tattoo the kids, which is your problem, then get your favorite students' names or all the class tattooed on your ass cheek.
It's a long list.
It can be small. 20 kids. 16 if you're lucky. 24 if you're not. You know, still only one cheek. You know, you're holding out hope for a better class. You know,
I just like went and like
better class for the left ass.
I just went and like imagined someone's ass cheek with just a list.
Yeah.
That's a weird thing to explain to
This
anyone
was my
who could
favorite
see that.
class. I taught middle school math. These are my favorite students right here on my ass cheek.
That's a strange thing to explain to a partner, because who's gonna see the ass cheek?
Or a principal. I mean, do you get fired for that? Probably.
I don't know. I don't know.
Again,
actually.
your problem. It's yours to show or not. You know, what's the principal going to do? I need to take a look at your ass cheek. Then he'll get fired, or she. The principal will get fired if they ask to see your ass cheek. So you got them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that is a good spot.
So I think they ask to see your ass, you get fired. Then you let them know what happened, then they get fired.
Yeah.
And then these kids are just left uneducated.
And you're left with their names tattooed on you.
Now's a good time to say, if you want clarity or advice on anything, call us.
Yeah.
1-888-EARPOD1. Do you approve? Did you have a good time?
I did have a good time.
All right. Still not nervous. I'm disappointed. Jenna, Jamie, thanks for keeping this afloat. And thank you for listening. And don't worry, Rhett will be back next week if that's really what you're after.
Fine, huh?
And remember, you can say it. What's the best closer?
Catch you next week. Oh yeah. Oh, right. Just ride a cowboy.
What? I thought you were going to say, remember, save a horse.
No.
I mean, you leave a little unsaid.
Oh, I did leave a little unsaid.
Yeah, the part about the horse.
Yeah.
Hey, Rhett and Link. My name's Nick, calling from Portland, Oregon. Listening to the Seattle episode where Link's talking about kind of getting into an adjacent band that your friend would be into in high school. I was the same way. I call it my little shit complex. And yeah, just wanted Link to know you're not alone, and all my friends hate me for it. All right, have a good day. Bye.